So I'm about to go meet up with Andres. So the idea is just to run around the city and try to make some cool photos on film. I really don't know what to expect as far as the photography goes. I've never shot skateboarding, let alone on film. And at least as far as skateboarding photography is concerned, I'm going in pretty light-handed. I'm shooting everything today on Ilford HP5, which is obviously a really popular film, but I've actually never used it. When I shoot black and white, I always opt for the cheapest film stocks I can find, which are usually Kentmere Pan 400 and sometimes Foma 400. I'm meeting up with Andres and his friend Stephanie near Bogota's biggest skate park, which is located right in the middle of the city in a commercial area that's notorious for drug consumption and petty crime. Both Andres and my taxi driver had incessantly warned me not to take out any electronics in the area.
¿Y cómo se llama este parque?
Tercer Milenio.
Ajá.
Parque Tercer Milenio.
¿Sí?
El skatepark está muy bueno, sí. Es de los más grandes de Colombia, sí.
Okay. ¿Se llamaba el Bronx?
Ajá. El
Ok.
Bronx quedaba cruzando una cuadra. El Cartucho se llamaba eso.
Y era como un mercado de droga.
Mercado de drogas, sí.
Up until a few years ago, there were two open-air drug markets in this area, El Cartucho and El Bronx. The Bronx specifically became infamous throughout Colombia because criminal control of the area was such that not even police officers could enter. A few years ago, the government decides to retake these areas. They clear them out, and central to their rejuvenation initiative is this massive skate park.
No esperaba una cosa tan grande.
All right, getting into photography. Full day sun, I'm on the 15mm fisheye. At first, I sort of let Andres take control, set up a shot. You'll notice that the background is a bit messy, and the light definitely isn't ideal.
Deberías como brincar más cerca de ahí.
Macetas.
Peligroso. Para mí. No. De eso se trata.
I actually don't mind this photo. Andres' eye contact and his expression really make up for some of the scene's problems.
Hey, ¿cómo estás? Gracias. Gracias. Uy.
I'm finally starting to slow down and think about how I can increase my chances of making a powerful photo. On the other side of the bowl, I find better light and a much more interesting background. Honestly, I regret not taking more shots from this spot. I really wish I'd been able to get Andres catching air over that mountain. I find shooting film, I always want to conserve my frames. I think it's a misguided instinct. Digital or film, if you find a cool scene, you should work it until you get that one keeper.
¿Qué fue como la inspiración para eso?
Mi hermano.
Okay.
Mi hermano tuvo un problema y se lo llevó la policía. Pues ni siquiera era el culpable y se lo llevaron. Entonces,
Okay. ¿Y sigue en la cárcel o?
no, él escapó. Te
Ajá.
molestan por cualquier cosa, si sea insignificante, te quieren quitar dinero, tus cosas. A mí me han quitado mucho dinero cuando ando en la moto por cosas muy insignificantes.
Ajá.
Por montar.
Buena suerte, trae buena suerte,
Sí.
¿no? Sí.
So now we're headed about 2 miles north, which is still considered central Bogota, to shoot Andres' his favorite stairs.
La policía, Henry. Sí.
Steffi was sketching on the scooter the whole way, so it's not like I could just tell Brandon to keep up with Andres. But still, I wish I'd made a better effort to take a photo of Andres joyfully skating through traffic.
Gracias. ¿Y qué vamos a comer?
Esto es un accidente en moto y esto es por pegarle a las puertas. A través de las puertas.
¿Sueles pegarle a la puerta?
No suelo hacerlo, pero estaba muy ofendido ese día.
So we're headed to the stairs, and the next thing I know, the guys are doing these high-speed sketches up and down the park's pedestrian walkway. Again, it kills me that I didn't get a good photo here. So many other shots today, this photo could have worked if I had used flash and a slow shutter speed. So these stairs are at the entry to Bogotá's most iconic park, El Parque Nacional. This is where I actually met André and his friends for the first time about a week before. I was making a video for this channel about the 800 or so displaced indigenous people who've occupied the park for the past year, and André and crew were skating and sharing their boards with a group of kids who live in the park.
Hey, parceros de todo el mundo, suscríbanse al canal.
So André starts skating and I have to make a decision. Am I going to attempt the extremely difficult and try to make a photo that tells the story of this moment? A talented skateboarder doing cool tricks right in the middle of a humanitarian crisis? Or do I just try to make a cool skateboarding photo? I opted for the latter. Still, it's a tricky scene. I feel like I need flash to make Andres pop off the background, but I'm not sure my flash is strong enough at this distance. So I decided to compromise and expose the scene brighter than I normally would, thinking that in black and white, hopefully the blown out sky won't look that bad, and at least Andres will be lit up. So I get the scans back and I see that the flash was actually more than powerful enough. Photos are decent, but I think they'd be much cooler if they were exposed a little bit darker. So we're outside of Bogotá's highest skyscraper, and Andres tells me that we're only going to get a few runs before security kicks us out. So I'm not liking the composition. Right as I find an angle that I like more, sure enough, security's coming out and they run us off.
¿Qué estilo? Esperar una semana, al menos.
So we head up towards Monserrate, the mountain that hangs over Bogota. By this point, the sun is starting to get lower in the sky, and at the same time, these nice thick clouds are starting to form.
A ver.
Recently, so many of my photos have been ruined by overexposure. From now on, I don't think I'm going to pose for the highlights like I would with the digital camera, but I'm definitely going to be more conscious about them. So you can't tell in the video, but the screw that holds the battery chamber in place came loose, so the grip just completely detached from the camera. The camera actually wasn't damaged at all, and the lens is still working fine, but the filter thread came loose. Love this shot. Juan probably wouldn't agree, but I think it's the best from this spot. So this rail was way too rough to skate, but it's at this spot where I get really my only good behind the scenes shots of the day. So we head down to one final spot. At this point, the sun is set and the clouds are getting even thicker. Conditions I would absolutely love if I were shooting on a digital camera, but I'm worried that it'll just be too dark on ISO 400 film. It's getting really dark really fast at this point. Shooting wide open, 1/8 of a second to start. Pretty soon I moved down to 1/4 of a second, and I had no idea what to expect here. Got the scans back, and by far the best photos of the day. Lesson learned, shoot later in the day. And if that's not possible, throw an ND filter on and try to drag the shutter.
Guapo y Rosita.
Please, please, please subscribe to see the upcoming content.